In the last few years of Funimation, there have been some controversies, one of them being the downfall of Vic Mignogna's career as a voice actor. As I've been doing research to understand what was going on, I've seen so much hate from the group I Stand With Vic, mainly targeting Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, Chris Sabat, and Sean Schemmel. Addressing the former of the first, there has been a report that she apparently kicked Todd Haberkorn, the voice of Natsu Dragneel, out of a panel from Zenkaicon on March 23, 2019. But based on the research I've done, I became skeptical of how likely this is. It all starts with Minnesota YouTuber Nick Rekieta, who started the GoFundMe campaign Vic Kicks Back before he even met Vic Mignogna, and the latter started his defamation case. In his video, Real Lawyer explains the safety concerns of Monica Rial. He talks about Monica frequently bringing up safety concerns at conventions, work, public streets, etc. Being the first one to make this claim, he makes an odd statement that, quote, "we learned that Monica kicked Todd out." He tried to reach out to Haberkorn to see if he felt threatened or unsafe. He did not respond. Rekieta stated he had two so-called very reliable and credible sources, which he did not provide links in the description of his video, other than his social medias.
Let's talk about safety with Monica Rial, because she sure talks about it a lot. I mean, she's talking about it on Twitter fairly frequently. You can see Monica is talking all this time about safety, how she needs a safe work environment, how people deserve to be safe, how she deserves to be safe, how she's concerned for her safety, how safety is a big primary issue for Monica Rial. In fact, we learned that over this past weekend at Zenkaicon, Monica Rial actually had Todd Haberkorn thrown off of a panel that they were supposed to both be on over concerns for her own safety. Now, recently, due to the actions of Monica, Jamie Marchi, I guess Jesse Pridemore, and some other actors and actresses who have kind of hung out in the shadows, Vic Mignogna's career was destroyed almost overnight. He's become persona non grata at several conventions. He's been uninvited to the point where conventions have had to break existing contracts with him. To the point of illegality, people are trying to distance themselves from Vic Mignogna because of Monica Rial. Another actor who appears to have been hurt by Monica Rial's actions is Todd Haberkorn. Todd Haberkorn, of course, as I stated, at Zenkaicon last weekend, was supposed to be on a panel with Monica and was removed from that panel. Now, I reached out to Mr. Haberkorn to get a statement on that. He did not provide me with any statement on the issue. So I'm only going through my other source on this. And my other source is very, very good. Very, very credible and very, very reliable. Now, I have a separate source who can't confirm that Todd Haberkorn story, but a separate source can confirm to me that Todd and Monica were separated throughout the majority of Zenkaicon. They were sat at opposite ends of tables. They were placed in opposite areas of the convention, and there was not much interaction between them. Now, whether or not that was planned, I don't know. But what I do know is that the underlying implication of being thrown off of a panel, even if it's behind closed doors, even if it's just between coworkers, is that Todd Haberkorn is not safe to be around. But the damage doesn't happen to Monica, does it? The damage happens to Todd. The damage happens to Vic.
The only source I found confirming Todd's non-attendance was one of the links to the voice actors panel on Zenkaicon 2019 from Bounding into Comics, which confirmed Monica's appearance along with Austin Tyndall and Michaela Dietz. But unlike many of his viewers who take his word for it, I questioned myself, did Todd and Monica have other events together? So I went to Todd's page to verify if everything Rekieta said was true, and as it turns out, the answer to my question was yes. The pair attended 2 more episodes called Opening Ceremonies and Autographs VIP Autograph Session. In fact, on Twitter, when a fan asked about her mysteriously kicking Todd out, she responded, "I can at least see where they got the basis for that lie. I did ask to be removed from the panel. However, they chose to pull Todd because his contract stated he couldn't do more than one panel a day, and he already had one scheduled. So, for whatever reason, Monica asked the staff to remove her from the voice actors panel, but ended up picking Todd instead because he wasn't allowed to participate in multiple panels on the same day. Excluding the other two, which again both Todd and Monica attended, he was scheduled to appear on Friday the 22nd at 8:15 p.m., Saturday the 23rd at 9 p.m., and Sunday the 24th at 12:15 p.m. If she really felt unsafe around Todd and didn't want to be around him as Rekieta claimed, she could have canceled her entire appearance like she did with Vic at another con. Whatever that was, of course. As for Monica asking to be removed from voice actors panel, we don't know what reason it was, and I doubt it was because Todd was defending Vic from the accusations against him. In fact, I have proof that Todd has defended victims before. I was reading some of the affidavits by the defendants reporting to have observed Vic making sexual advances with young fans, as well as being a rude diva to staffers. One of them being Adam Sheehan, who said it was Vic Mignogna who made Todd Haberkorn unsafe, not Monica Rial. So I googled Adam Sheehan and Vic Mignogna and found a long Twitter thread explaining Jesse Pridemore's rape story, Todd stating he was involved in it, and mentioned Adam in his explanation. This is a bit off topic, but I want to give a brief explanation of Adam's perspective to lead to the proof of Todd defending people from Vic without reading the whole thing. He said that Todd's response caught him off guard when he decided to step into Jesse's story about surviving an assault and say that it was him, but they were both drunk and the activity was consensual. And yet, Jesse never directly named him, to which Adam asked, "Todd, how could you do this?" The only thing he confirmed was that he, Todd, and Jesse were at a convention suite drinking a lot one night. Jesse had so much that she lost her ability to think, and Todd took her back to his hotel room. Adam blamed himself, thinking he should have stopped them. At the end, he shared a couple screenshots of Todd saying he's not a Vic defender. And if you want more proof, I can read some of them. It starts with Adam saying, "Cool. On another note, all this Vic stuff. Dude, now that? Wow. Yeah, wow. 3 big cons just canceled him. Damn. Phoenix, Anime NYC, Anime Matsuri. Though I would exclude Anime Matsuri as he's still allowed to be there. No surprise considering they have the same accusations as Vic. Either way, Todd's still right about most other cons. It's pretty nuts that Vic gets to go back. That man gets away with so much. Keep your eyes peeled and you might see his new girlfriend. Hashtag 30-year age gap. But the true curse at the end of the day is that he wakes up every morning still being Vic. True. Really? What happened to the last one he was with for a long time? It was a long time coming. This way he can have a fangirl for a girlfriend. On this last shot, whatever redacted con it was, he said, "Man, I haven't been back since I defended staffers that Vic made cry and yelled at the head of staff for enabling Vic's diva behavior after he made the pregnant head of guest relations cry. That was 7 years ago." So basically, Adam was questioning Todd why he would attack Jesse Pridemore if he's defended staffers and others from Vic's diva habits before, especially since she didn't even mention him being the rapist attacking her. In response, Jesse reposted Adam's explanation on her own Twitter page while acknowledging Todd's explanation. No slander, no further accusation against him, but apparently she kept talking to him, even out of confusion. The last thing she said was she no longer wanted to explain more as it was a very long story. She's been assaulted plenty of times and doesn't want any more death threats, maybe even from Vic stans. As a result, this sounds nothing like accusing Todd of raping her, nor Todd defending Vic as many may assume. But again, that's not what this is about. This is about proving Todd Haberkorn is not in the hashtag #IStandWithVic. This is why I doubt Monica asked to be removed from voice actors panel at Zenkaicon, all because she didn't feel safe around Todd. So what have we learned here? We learned that Monica, for whatever reason, volunteered to be removed from one of the panels, but the staff ended up picking Todd Haberkorn because he wasn't allowed to attend more than one on the same day, according to his contract. Voice Actors Panel wasn't the only event they were supposed to be together at, but they were also at the opening ceremonies and autograph signing events. Finally, Todd Haberkorn has defended people from Vic manipulating them before he was fired. So why do I believe Monica's telling the truth? Because I looked deeper into a couple of analyses a couple Vic-defending YouTubers tried to make to explain why she's a liar, only for them to end up being wrong. For example, I took this clip from Austin Rose, aka Perception Check's Weeb Wars, the Vic Mignogna situation video, explaining what she thought was going on between Monica and Stephanie Nadolny.
On September 3rd, another DM leak dropped on Twitter, this time from Stephanie Nadolny, a voice actress most notable for her roles as Kid Goku and Kid Gohan in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Sabat is a bully who has been out to get those who don't run in his pack since day one. I turned down his advances, and ever since then, since like 2007, he has been out to get me and make my life miserable. People weren't sure how legit it was until Stephanie's official Twitter account started liking some interesting tweets, including a few asking if the DMs were legit. She also liked Erica McCord's Twitter thread debunking Faisal's affidavit and a tweet telling Steph to talk to Nick about her sharing her story. Kick Vic preemptively started attacking her, including Monica Rial, who said she had felt betrayed. She also feigned concern for Stephanie while slagging her in defense of Sabat.
But the problem with this analysis is that Austin didn't read the whole story Monica told. Originally, she felt betrayed, but she contacted Stephanie and asked if she had control of her account. As it turns out, she did not because she was hacked. Therefore, it was Stephanie's imposter that Monica and Kick Vic started slandering. Chris Sabat is also married to actress Tabitha Drysdale, and since 2008, they've had a healthy marriage. If we take this into consideration and compare it to the screenshot Stephanie's imposter took, they said 2007, which actually means Chris and Tabitha were dating and probably planning their wedding. Besides, Stephanie stopped working on the Dragon Ball dub since 2010, meaning they've been married for about 2 years. Moving on to Monica's story about Vic forcibly kissing her in a hotel room, she claims that Stan DeLynn intervened and saw her upset, which he denied recalling in his affidavit. This is what caused many people to think that he stands with Vic. She lied and was only doing this to destroy his career.
We all know about the infamous hotel story that Monica Rial tells about Vic, but in her deposition when she referenced that story, she names one key witness who came into the room after Vic, did whatever to Monica Rial, and according to her, he saw that her face was distressed and asked her if she was okay. Monica Rial said this after being sworn in a deposition, right? However, the man that she referenced, Stan, completely disagrees with her statement. In this affidavit that he gave, he, introduces himself and said that he read Monica Rial's response to whatever. He talks about Monica Rial and Vic being guests at the con that they were referencing, and he says that he has no memory of the events described in bullet point 4 of the response involving him. If I had noticed Monica Rial being distressed leaving Victor Mignogna's room, I'm certain that I would remember it. In subsequent years, I invited Monica Rial and Victor Mignogna back to my convention several times. I would never have done this if I had been informed of any problems between Monica Rial and Victor Mignogna. Keep in mind, guys, I know Monica's going to say, oh, this happened a while ago, some details may be misconstrued, but if something happens years ago of this magnitude, you're going to forget what color shirt Vic was wearing, what color the sheets on the mattress in the hotel room were. You're not going to forget someone asking you if you're okay after you just got assaulted. So in my opinion, Monica Rial did lie about the events of what happened here, and she definitely lied about Stan's reaction to what happened.
But here's what's bugging me. Stan DeLynn did not say he stood with Vic. All he said was he had no recollection of his memory of the event as she describes. Just because he doesn't remember entering a hotel room, or she doesn't remember seeing Monica upset, does not mean he sides with Vic or Monica lied. See, this is the problem with all these Vic defenders. While they're aware that there are at least 2 sides of every story, most of them are driven by politically black and white beliefs. Either Monica's side is true, or Stan's side is true, and since the latter said he doesn't recall anything, Monica must have lied, right? Well, no, not exactly. Both of their sides can be true. you'd just get a different result. See, if you were to call Monica's story a lie, you would be accusing her of committing perjury. This is submitting falsified evidence knowingly, which is a crime, and so far, I have not seen any document saying that Monica has been charged for that. So what result can you get out of Monica's side and Stan's side being true? Well, it's pretty easy. When Stan entered the hotel room, Monica thought he saw her upset. Apparently, he doesn't remember the event because he wasn't paying attention. That's not Monica lying, that's Monica misunderstanding. In addition, Ty Beard, who was Vic's lawyer, wrote a letter to Monica on April 12, 2019, confirming Vic kissed her. They claim it was mutual and consensual, but Monica verified otherwise. The problem is that Vic picked the wrong lawyer. Ty Beard is an estate lawyer, not a defamation lawyer. The goal of someone like that is to provide evidence that what he was accused of did not happen. There's a huge difference between proving an accusation false and confirming it, but labeling it as something else. In short, Ty Beard was incompetent, Vic's lawsuit was dismissed, and now 5 years later, he has to pay Monica and her husband Ron Toy more than $300,000 and Jamie Markey over $100,000, making it roughly $495,000 in total. So if anything, you want to know who's lying to us? Roll the drums. It's this contrarian, aggressive, vitriolic snake of a lawyer, Nick Rekieta. He was the first one to make the claim that Monica kicked Todd out of a panel at Zenkaicon based on only one source without looking at the others. Since Todd hasn't responded to Rekieta, maybe it's because he was doing fine with her, he doesn't want anything to do with Rekieta and Vic, or both. If he doesn't know what's going on behind the scenes, as he said a couple times, then he shouldn't be sure that Monica definitively kicked Todd out. So Rekieta was only encouraging Vic fanatics to slander Monica with his conspiracy because they were still salty that Funimation fired Vic for bad behavior. Recently, he's been arrested for possessing cocaine and exposed it to his 9-year-old daughter, who tested positive for it. At 42, he has to spend 20-plus years in jail. Before that, what did he have to say about how much money he owes the defendants?
There you go. There's a judgment, and now he's ordered to pay. Not much. I don't know anything about the case anymore. I haven't been following or keeping up.
Dude, he owes them $500,000. How is that not much? But of course you don't know. You don't care. You constantly got on your YouTube streams telling Vic stans what they wanted to hear. Things that make them feel better about how much they hate women, and paid you on those live chats for it.
Name is not really vaccinated. You know, really. If
Oh,
your name's,
it's because of you joking about Kiwi Farms. That's why.
Oh, no. I'm asking the farms for help. I'm asking them for help. Make these people miserable, please. I would consider it a personal favor.
Even Vic Kicks Back was made for Ty Beard's fame and power, not fixing Vic's career. I guess Emmett Plant was right about them. Nick Rekieta and Ty Beard never cared if Vic lost. As long as people pay them for using Vic, they're successful in their own way. So far, Todd and Monica have been silent about each other 5 years after Vic's loss. Even as Funimation rebranded as Crunchyroll, the pair have still kept their jobs as voice actors, and they're currently working on the English dub of Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, reprising their roles as Natsu and Mira Jane. So this rumor started 5 years ago. Why talk about it now? Well, ever since Nick Rekieta first made this announcement, I haven't seen anybody trying to do something about it. Only a bunch of bitter Vic stans on YouTube, propagating the source where they got it from, and nothing. Nothing happened, and no updates have been made. Except Monica confirming she asked to be removed, but Todd was selected because of his contract. They still participated in 2 more events, and that was it. No damage has been done to anybody, and yet, when I read the article of Monica responding to those rumors, all I saw was even more slander against her. Then I found Adam Sheehan revealing that Todd is not a Vic defender. In other words, Todd and Monica are on the same page. They never liked Vic Mignogna. Therefore, I can't be sure of Rekieta's claim that he was unsafe around Monica. Between all of that, Vic confessing some of the accusations were true, Ty Beard being the inappropriate lawyer for his lawsuit, Rekieta conning thousands of Vic stands out of their money, and his recent arrest, I think it's safe to say that these slander videos against Monica, even Rekieta's, have aged like milk. Now here are Todd and Monica reprising their fairy tale roles, looking forward to celebrating with fans whenever they can, and they're happy. Rekieta encouraged bitterness and slander against Monica, and nothing's been done about it. She made one response claiming he lied, and nothing's been done about it. Rekieta's paying the price, Todd and Monica are still going strong, and they're both happy. So if nobody has any sources to back up Rekieta's initial claim, and nothing's changed in the last 5 years, maybe it's time to stop assuming Monica lied and start listening to her. It's the only way to understand why no con staffer suspected she hurt Todd, and why she was never fired. At the end of the day, Nick Rekieta is a liar who set everyone up on a wild goose chase. So maybe I Stand With Vic isn't being as critical or honest as many members like to think they are.